So real quick, rustic seems to be the trending thing right now, and my neighbor asked if I would build her a rustic looking frame for a mirror she purchased at Target. So when it comes to rustic, I immediately turned to pallets. I found one that had some pretty wide slats, almost 6 inches, and it looked pretty weathered. The more weathered, dried out look, the better your end product will be. So don't be afraid to pick the ones with cracks and knots. They look great in the end product. I placed the mirror on the pallet to see if I could save some time by just cutting off the ends. If your mirror is too large, you might need every inch of every slat, so this step might need to be skipped. Now, with whatever tools you have, take the pallets apart without damaging the slats, and this can prove to be more difficult than you think. Take all the protruding nails and straighten them. We will not be removing them. The last pallet art I did, I left the nails in and they really gave it that authentic look, so do not remove the nails. We are going to leave them in place. To help separate the boards without having the heads of the nails damage or pull through the slats, we are going to cut them off on their bottom sides. This will help you separate the boards much easier also. So take a hacksaw or a sawzall and cut the nails as close to the base as possible. At this point, the boards will pull apart much easier. Take care not to crack your slats. If they are dried out and as weathered as mine were, they could possibly split in half if you whack them too hard. You can pry them loose here too, because any marks will be left on the back side and they will not show on the final product. After each slat is off, cut the bottoms of the nails off. Remember, we are leaving the nail heads in place for that authentic look. Now with all the slats free, we can start cutting our frame. I am not even going to mention how incredibly easy this step is if you have already built your framing jig, because you can just stack your sides and cut them together for a perfect fit. So I'll assume you don't have that, and we will jump right into squaring our miter saw. With a speed square, set your miter saw to 45 degrees. Measure your mirror, not the frame it's in, and take 2 inches off, then mark your slats. Remember to flip your slats upside down. The marks for cutting should be near the blade, not close to you, or your angles will be going in the wrong direction and you might not notice. Removing 2 inches from the measurement will ensure you have at least an inch lip for the setting of the mirror. Now, since you didn't use a framing jig, you can reuse your measurements or cheat like I do and just stack the pieces and draw lines. Cut one and then flip it over and draw your other line and then recut. The horizontal sides of your frame are now complete. At this point, you just need to repeat the process for your top and bottom. Earlier I said that cracks and knots give your frame an authentic look, but we don't want them to fall apart or get worse. So if you have any iffy cracks, just simply take a staple gun and put a few staples in them to hold it secure. The best way to join a thin frame like this is to use biscuits. So break out your plate joiner and we will get our frame ready to put together. For this project, I am going to use size 10 biscuits. Before you make cuts in your wood, take a scrap piece and make a practice cut. This will help you ensure that your cuts are centered. If they are too low, you can find the appropriate object to lift your pieces or lift your plate joiner so your cuts are centered. Before cutting your slots, make centering marks on both pieces at the same time. And because we are just eyeballing this, don't forget to number your corners. This will save you time guessing which cuts belong together when you begin gluing them together. Another good reason to use biscuits is you might find that your boards are slightly warped. Pallets are left out in the weather and tend to have a slight bow to them. Biscuits will help you beat the bows when you join them. Now lay out your frame with the correct numbers in each corner and glue in your biscuits. Then push each corner together. Use bar clamps to help if your bow is putting a lot of stress on your biscuits. While your new frame is drying, you can remove the mirror from its old frame if you need to. Find something to protect the mirror when you move it out of the way. While I was getting ready to mount the mirror to the back of the frame, my neighbor asked if I could build a shelf on the front that could hold some candles that would be reflected in the mirror. So to make this easy, I would do it before I mounted the mirror to the back. If you saw my last shadow box video, you will know where I pulled this piece of glass from. If not, there will be a link at the end of this video if you need some more detail on cutting the glass. Anyway, I am going to just freehand the shelf supports and I'm going to cut them out of some scraps of leftover slats. Start by measuring the width of the glass, then add a 1/4 inch to your measurement. This will allow us to create a lip so the glass will be removable but not be able to slide or be knocked off its perch. Now that you have your first piece measured out, stack 2 more under it and cut all 3 pieces at the same time. This will ensure that they are exactly the same distance away from the frame. First, I will draw a line across the tops of all pieces. I will leave a notch at the end of each piece when cutting. This notch will keep the glass from being able to slide off the supports. The notch has to be beyond the width of the glass, so go back and measure it if you need to. Cut your notch line first, then reset your fence and cut the remainder of your line. Go back to your glass and check that it will fit within the notch and that no portion of the glass extends beyond the other end. Once that is good, simply freehand your shelf support onto the piece. You can make any design you want here, but just ensure you go from corner to corner so you don't lose the support. Simply cut out your first piece and then use that one as a template for the other 2. After you draw out your lines, go back and cut out your other 2 pieces. Now that your shelf brackets are complete, let's mount them to the frame. Take a quick measurement and find the center of your frame. Make a mark and place the bracket on the mark, and then with a pencil trace out both sides onto the frame. From the center, measure out in each direction the same distance. Then repeat tracing out each bracket while they are in their positions. Here I just aligned my brackets to the bottom of the frame, but if yours are smaller and you want your shelf higher, take a straight edge as shown here and mark the bottom of each bracket so your glass will be level. Raise your frame and drill 2 holes inside the trace lines for each bracket. You should now have 6 pre-drilled holes. Take each bracket, place it back in position, and then while keeping it in the position, lay it on its side slowly so you can make a mark even with each hole. We are now going to make pilot holes so we don't crack our brackets or have to struggle while trying to hold them in place while screwing them in place. Now pick out some screws. Pay attention to the screw lengths to ensure they will not protrude through the face of your bracket. Hang your frame off the end of your table and get ready to mount your brackets. Feed your screws through with your hand, just enough for them to peek through so you can get hole alignment, and then screw them into place. Flip it over, check that your glass still fits. Then remove your glass if it does and flip it back over. We are now going to mount the mirror. Place your mirror in the center of the frame. Ensure all sides are equally spaced. We will build the mirror mount around this while it's in position. We will just, make this up as we go along. So let's start by taking a scrap piece of wood. Remember, it does not have to be the same size as the mirror. It can actually be shorter, and that might just be easier if you're not good at cutting frames. But I love overkill, so mine will be the exact perimeter and frame around the mirror. Cut your wood into 4 even pieces. Then we are going to notch out each piece. The notch will be the height of the mirror away from the frame. Raise your blade up to about halfway into the board. Then cut all 4 pieces again. After that, take one piece, turn it on its side, and raise the blade up to the line you just cut. And then center the piece so it cuts into the previous cut, and then set your fence so it doesn't move. Run all 4 pieces through again. Set your pieces in place, and at each corner of the mirror, make a mark on your board. Then take to the miter saw, or break out your framing jig, and cut. Remember, if using a miter saw, put the mark closest to the blade. Now, with your 2 sides in place, grab your remaining pieces and lay them over your other 2. Mark the same as before, and then cut to fit. Now, with all 4 pieces cut, we are going to mount them into place. I will put a bead of glue down and then tack the piece to the pallet to hold it in position until the glue dries. Just repeat this to all 4 sides. The last step is to mount your hanging wire. Try to make it close to the top when extended, but ensure it is below the frame and it will not be seen, nor will the hanging pin. Now, one last finishing touch. The fresh cut of the shelf brackets really stand out, so take a little stain and darken just the face of each. Be careful not to get it anywhere else on the frame. Now, let's go hang it.